Hello and welcome to Never a Foul. He wanted Havertz and he got Kai Havertz. He's going to win him the league, as he said. Of course he will. This is what is going to happen to Arsenal next year. Lavia, Rice, Havertz to win the league. And look at Manchester City. Great business. Kovacic done. Cheap price. That midfield is going to be fire. But Gundogan, the captain, the triple hero, is leaving, of course. And I'm here with Osi Gunnar. He's not going to swear in the first 20 minutes. He promised us this. And
you keep going like that. You keep going like that, and I might break the rules. Play nice. Play nice. I don't want to stuff it up, but play nice.
We got already 100 people already. It's building up. And guys, hit that like button for us. We got amazing news for you. Chelsea selling their players left and right, collecting the money to go and buy Caicedo. Arsenal funding the Caicedo deal. Absolutely fantastic. But how's everybody feeling today?
You just
look
call
at
it
the
Caicedo.
glum face. Look at Osiguna with that face.
I thought should we allow him for a little bit and just talk about Chelsea and move on to Arsenal and leave Havertz for just a little bit. Just a little.
What, you want me to simmer? Is that what you're doing to me? You like let it simmer a bit? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my.
Okay. It's your show. All right, pull the strings. Your show.
What time is it over where you are right now? Like 11 o'clock or 12?
It's like 12:30 in the morning, man.
All right, let him go off.
No. It's all good. It's all good, bro. It's all good. You do it your way, bro. It's all good. How you want to play this game? We'll play it. It's all good.
Oh, wait.
We'll play it from the back. We're playing out from the back. Come on.
And all right, let's start with the lower deal. Let's call it like that, Mo. What happened today? What happened with Koulibaly? Do you know any of the fees at all?
So the fees are reported 25 million euros, including some bonus or something like this. So about 20 million pounds. But I've been told that it's only 18 million pounds, which is, so they paid 32 last year, spent a year there, bagged 300K for that year that he was injured half the year, and then he's leaving now. But I'm going to retract everything I said about Chelsea. If Chelsea can get all these deals over the line, what a club. And how can they manage these deals? It's fantastic. It's a great business for them. I said that Chelsea are in deep trouble. They are not. They are allowed to sell their players. Another one might go, which is Callum Hudson-Odoi. So, but we're not suspicious at all.
There's another one as well.
We're not suspicious at all. We're not. We're great here. We support Chelsea. They're a fantastic club, selling players to the likes of Arsenal. 60 million probably for Mason Mount. I think it's going to land at 50, 65. Including bonuses. I think it's going to land on 55. I think
no. It's not. It's actually 65 million.
You're not going to pay. You offered 45 plus 5 bonuses.
No, not Mason Mount. Oh, Mason Mount. We said Kai Havertz.
Mason Mount.
No, we're talking Mount, man.
Oh, and also, they are about to sell Lukaku. Another one. DJ Khaled, big up DJ Khaled. For what? Like 40 million pounds for Lukaku. What a deal for Chelsea. I don't know what to do. Listen, I take everything back. They are a fantastic run club. Todd Bowley knows what he's doing. He got these players. He had the Saudis in his back pocket, knowing that this year, he's writing off this year. And he's selling the players left and right. And the idiots are falling for it. The idiots are Manchester United. The idiots are Arsenal. The stupid people are the Saudi people. They're buying the players left and right. And I'm sorry to call them stupid, but they are funding Chelsea's summer. It's reality, isn't it? It's absolutely reality.
I don't even know what to say about that, man. I'm saying Aubameyang might be going for like 5-6 million, like 8 or 10 million, even like around them figures there. And then, you know,
you're kidding.
Gallagher, yeah, and then Gallagher's yet to be seen if he's going to go as well. That might be an extra 40 million in their pocket. And then you got to think of along the lines of other players that they Pulisic, they haven't even sold him yet. Ruben Loftus-Cheek haven't even sold him yet.
Ziyech.
Yes,
Almost
yes.
done. Ziyech almost done. Almost done.
Mendy.
Almost done. Good money as well. Good money, about 15 to 20 million pounds or something like this, because
And then
he's Moroccan. He's loved in Saudi Arabia, by the way. Hakim Ziyech, another people that is
a great
very
player.
loved in Saudi Arabia.
He's look. I really rate Hakim Ziyech. I just think his move to Chelsea Football Club was probably one of the worst things he could have done. That destroyed him. That took him. He was flying high before Chelsea Football Club, but I mean that's neither here nor there now. Anyone who picks him up is good business. To be perfectly honest, I couldn't agree with you more. Chelsea are doing some great business now and just clearing out the deadwood. Manchester United and Arsenal in sync once again, just picking up trash and paying top dollar for it. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, it's going to be good. Just throwing away money to Chelsea Football Club and making sure that they do well and finish in the top 3 or top 2. You never know. I mean, we're going to be funding them. It's great. How do you feel about that as a Man United fan? That you guys are going to be helping them with Mason Mount?
We'll talk about Man United a little bit later. But my feelings, I can't lie, Ozzy. I feel sick. Like honestly, it makes me feel absolutely sick to my stomach. The fact that we've gone about, there's so many great options out there, and you pick Mason Mount, and it's just, I don't know what it is, but whoever Chelsea brought in for their negotiations and everything, it's just like Mariner and the rest of them that back in the day, like Chelsea always get good prices for their players. You remember when they had to sell David Luiz all the time, 50 million to PSG? Do you remember that? And you're like, how? And it's just still, man. They're robbing everyone and they're laughing all the way to the bank. And even though they spent 623 million, they could easily recuperate 200 million just like that.
It's like a used car dealership. I swear, it's like a used car dealer. It's got all these duds, but he polishes them up really well and flogs them off for top dollar. That's Chelsea Football Club, and they're doing it really well at the moment. Unfortunately for Arsenal fans and Man United fans respectively, we're the customers, unfortunately.
Guys, get the likes up, please, and also get your super chats if you want to comment. If you want to let us know, the comments are flying. I'm going to stop in a bit to do all the super chats. DJ finally loving me, saying, "Wow, Mo giving Chelsea credit. Finally, love it. Thanks for the super chat." Listen, credit when credit is due. Listen, I said that they're not going to be able to sell their players, but they are, as Cass said, great negotiations, and they're selling. Selling your deadwood to your rivals for top dollar is something that I have to say, fantastic business. It's ridiculous. I can't believe it, but it's happening. It's absolutely happening. I'm stunned. Also,
I don't get I just don't get some of these transfers personally. Now they're going to go all out and go get Caicedo. They will pay the price, and I know that's Arsenal's target, and alongside is somewhat Man United's target as well, or one of them in the list. It's just you'd think that Arsenal would rather pay up 70 to 80 million or 70 million plus add-ons to go get Caicedo, so what they need, especially with Partey going, by the way, potentially as well to Saudi.
Yep.
So why now? Like there's loads of Kai Havertz in the world. Like you can go grab one. I mean, it shouldn't be too hard to grab an attacking midfielder that can secure 19 goals in 3 seasons of Premier League football.
7 goals last season. And is he an attacking midfielder or a number 9 or a winger or a number 8? Does anyone know the position that Kai Havertz is supposed to fit in? Because all the time that he's been at Chelsea Football Club, I don't think he's made any position his own. So this is the issue that I have with Kai Havertz, is that I don't know his actual position. He's not a great number 9. He doesn't play great as a false 9. He's a poor performing number 10. He can't play out in the wing. I'm just starting to think that he might be our new canteen lady. I don't know. £65 million to hang back there and just sell pies.
That's exactly what Darren Bent. So if you guys didn't see, Darren Bent this morning, he tweeted something exactly what all of us think. Like he said, I trust Arteta and everything, but someone has to come out publicly and explain what is Kai Havertz? What is this move? What's about this move?
You know what it is? We've been talking about this for ages, Mo. Like last couple of days. What is his best position? We've had, like where is it? Right wing, whatever. Like we've covered that topic a lot, right? And now you got to look like, for me, I don't even. Again, I keep changing my mind every other day, thinking no, he's the false 9 of the false 9. There's a 9.5. Like there's a false 9.7. Or 8.5. Some Arsenal fans think he's an 8.
He's a 10.5.
He's a 10.5, like 9.75 from Harry Potter. You know, he kind of looks like Harry Potter, to be fair. I just don't know. He's a false footballer right now, but he's not garbage though. This is the thing. He's not rubbish. He's not crap. Like he has got talent. He does have talent, man. And you know what is? I believe Arsenal fans are doing revisionism of Kai Havertz to make them believe that he's something great, right? And you have to do it. I've got to do it to Mason. I've got to pretend that Mason Mount's actually a decent footballer. So because you just want to back your team at the end of the day. But for you, Ozzy, it's like, I know you're very much against this. For the fee, if it was 30 million, you'd be like, yeah, all right, I'll take it 30 million. Why not? That's a great depth. 65 million. Edu, what are you doing? You saw Chelsea go from 80 million to 70 million. Now they're going to accept somewhat 65 million and play with Man United that way. But when it comes to Kai Havertz, they wanted their money back, somewhat their money back, by the way. 72 million. They told Real Madrid 55 million, and Real Madrid said nope. And then it's like you haven't negotiated properly for Kai Havertz. It's like you've gone from 60, 70 million to wanting to pay only up to 55 million. Now you're paying 65. Who let him cook? What is he cooking, Eddie? What is he cooking? What's he cooking in the kitchen?
Money laundry. This is money laundry.
Honestly, it's got to be. It's got to be. They're either on crack, acid, or God knows what. Because to be perfectly honest, the move for Kai Havertz makes no sense whatsoever. And this could be another Fabio Vieira signing, where we spent 30 million on Fabio Vieira, or 33 million on Fabio Vieira. This could have got us a better quality midfielder that could have, papered over the cracks of our season, the prior, and maybe got us over the line. It's all maybes, could be's, and should be's. But we went after a Fabio Vieira. Now we've gone after a Kai Havertz who had 7 goals last season, 2, 3, I don't know, 1 or 2 assists, an absolute shambles of a footballer. And I'm bringing him into Arsenal Football Club to do what? If he's going to be playing 9, he's sitting on the bench compared to Jesus. So I'm just paying up. Arsenal Football Club are spending 65 million on a player to sit on a bench and to collect anywhere upwards of £200,000 a week. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, I would not expect them to pay those sort of wages, but from what I'm hearing, it's upward of £200,000 a week.
What?
Yeah. Yes.
Are you?
There you go.
Yeah, the wage.
No, I'm not. They are
200. I think it's 200. It's 200 something, including bonuses. Base salary 175. Base salary 175K a week for Kai Havertz.
If that's the case, 175. I don't care about the bonuses because we don't want to do.
You won't get them
beyond. Yeah, because
he's not stupid. His bonuses are gonna be playing 25 games a year, something like this. If I play 25 games,
he averages 27 games. No, he plays quite a lot for Chelsea. In Premier League, he averages about just under 30 games per season. So he's available. He's never really injured, I suppose. But this might be a testimony to Arteta, though. Like, cool. You're great at making these talents great. This is your biggest test yet, because if it doesn't, that could be a sacking. Like if it fails, that could be a sacking. Like if we're keeping it straight and narrow.
Play devil's advocate, other side. So now I had the energy to say that it's shit and everything. Forget the price tag. Maybe he sees Odegaard. He had 2 great seasons in the Bundesliga, but that was 4 years ago before he joined Chelsea.
He was amazing.
He was really good. To be honest, I watched him at that time. He was fantastic as a right winger, false 9, free-flowing player on the pitch. However, Arsenal model does not work like this. It's discipline. It's players holding positions. It's players defensively strong. It's player on the transition, following the attackers back. And look at Xhaka having blocks while being in the other team's 18 and then running back and getting blocks. That's not Kai Havertz. But 65 million, you can go and get Hakan Çalhanoğlu, Frank Kessie together and save money and have 2 players that play Champions League football. One of them won the league and one of them played Champions League final. So Frank Kessie, he didn't play enough, but I know he's a top player, and he can get Hakan Çalhanoğlu from Inter who played Champions League final. Instead of that, you're going to get Havertz, who Chelsea, they don't favor him. If he was a good player, they would have kept him, but no. But Kai Havertz, it might work. But for 65 million, you could have gotten way better players that are on the market cheaper than 65 million. That's just 80 million euros. Guys, Tonali is not even that price.
Oh no,
from Milan.
I was screaming for Tonali for about 3 months. I go, we can go and grab this young player, 22, 23 years old. Yes, a few injuries here and there, solid in the midfield, up and coming. You want a good defender, you get an Italian. That's given, that's in their blood. Instead, we go for we go for high Havertz. You know what I mean? And
Ismail
now,
Benasser, oh yeah, he's injured. Ismail Benasser.
Wait, what did you call him? Sorry, I'll just unmute for a quick second.
No, it's not Kai Havertz, it's High Havertz. I'm hoping that this is a different version. You know what I mean? Like, I'll take anything right now instead of Kai Havertz. High Havertz, I'm done, mate. Yeah. But I look at this signing and I can't see any sense in it at all. I think that this could be Arteta's undoing.
Get that out of my face.
That's getting to me.
Get that out of my face.
The cheek.
But listen, talk to me, Osiguna, about the lineup next year. Kai Havertz, left center mid, behind Jesus. Talk to me about Odegaard. Declan Rice now. Apparently, he is brought to play a 6, a DM, like he plays for the England national team. Is that how you feel, Arteta? Because look at the signing they're targeting. It's all attacking players, and Rice is the only defensive midfielder.
It's looking like Rice is going to be the 6. Yeah, it does. I actually thought that we were bringing him in to transition into an 8, but didn't that go out the window with this crap that we were just talking about? So now I'm thinking to myself, obviously, Declan Rice is going to be sitting back. A player who's not too injury prone, solid. He can give you he's a 7 out of 10 performance, and he's a leader. He's not the one that drops his head. And I think the idea behind the Declan Rice move wasn't just about the performance. It was about a player that even when he's under pressure, he's still going to come in and pick himself up and continue playing. Now, we saw the drop-off in Thomas Partey last season, not for injuries, but after Liverpool or halfway in the Liverpool game, his head dropped and he never came back. And that cost us dearly. We still don't have depth in there by getting rid of Thomas Partey. But I think the Declan Rice move is a strong move. I would rather have had a different option for number 8. But for me, in my opinion now, the only thing that can be possibly happening is that Kai Havertz is apparently going to slot in as a number 8, unless the formation changes, Declan Rice sits as a DM, and Kai Havertz and Odegaard are sitting up front side by side. If you know what I mean. Like, you're playing a 4-3-3, but you're playing.
Do you know what I'm thinking? Let me present to you something. New formation, Arsenal. Saliba, Gabriel on the left, Ben White on the right side. In the midfield, it's going to be Zinchenko along Declan Rice. Ahead of them, Odegaard, Kai Havertz. On the right, Saka. On the left is going to be Martinelli. Up top, Gabriel Jesus. Copying Manchester City formation, exactly that won the treble last year. Yeah,
he wants to play 3 in the back. It's a possibility.
It's very obvious that he wants to play 3 in the back. Also, with Kivior as an option for that left side, if Ben White, if someone gets injured. I think that's the only logical formation in my head at the moment, because Zinchenko is screaming a midfielder. He's not a left back. He can defend. He is not a guy that transitions quickly in the back.
Man, I hate this narrative, man. He's
Rice and Zinchenko next to each other. They aren't Rodri and Stones, but they can do a job.
There's no creativity there, man.
Odegaard and Havertz. That's why you play. And also Zinchenko has been very good.
Smells of garbage, man. Because you're exposing yourself. When you pull Gabriel out wide to the left, he's in no man. No, that's what I'm just telling you. When you go 3 at the back, Gabriel, when he gets pulled out, because he has to cover that area. That's not. I've seen him get stripped there. I like for me, if you're talking about football and just what you like in the game from a defender, when the defender's central, but mate, he was solid. Saliba could do it. Gabriel can't. He's more comfortable being the guy in the middle, dealing with anything in the air and anything that's in and around the 6, or the 18 even. So that's what, when he gets dragged out, this is why you see Arsenal getting exposed. Declan Rice is better as an 8 when he's driving forward. I think that's where his game thrives. Just put him as a utility 6. Yeah, he might come great, but he could be even better. And by the way, you're linked to Lavia as well. So I wonder if that's
which is a fantastic move next to Declan Rice.
Yeah, next year.
That would be a good move next to Declan Rice.
And you like Lavia. You're a big fan of Lavia, Cass, right?
Yeah, but the thing is though, the way I look at Arsenal, the way who covers Zinchenko was always Xhaka. That's why I look at Declan Rice going over to the left, not anybody else, not Kai Havertz. Who's going to be the cover one that covers the left back sometimes? Xhaka done that role so well on that touchline. it was. I'm actually confused why they let him go so quick. I know he wanted to go, but was there no convincing the guy?
I think there was no convincing Arteta. I think Arteta's looked at him, 31 years old. I might as well cash in now. I think it's a dollars and cents move. We keep him, we get nothing. We sell him, and we move on. Our midfield was aging, and I'm not saying aging. We say 30 years old. The two midfielders side by side between Partey and Xhaka. And I think to Arteta's defense, he's looking at Granit Xhaka. His best season at Arsenal. Can he do better? More than likely not. Do I need better? Yes. I need more. And the thing is, at 30, 31 years old, midfielder, this ain't Gundogan.
Yeah, well, the Gundogan ship has sailed, and then we'll talk about that a little bit later as well with Arsenal.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, Arsenal, you went from a team that can challenge. If instead of Havertz, you get Caicedo, you get Havertz, and you're challenged right away, like this. Just these two players. And how much is Caicedo? 70 plus 10 bonuses.
Maybe
just increase 15 million.
But the thing is,
go on.
Sorry to cut you off, but don't forget that Arsenal aren't paying this up front. Apparently, from what I'm hearing, it's going to be in £16.5 million installments. So now this, I know this sounds a bit, I'm not happy about this, guys. I'm not defending it. I'm just saying £16.5 million.
Looks like you are.
Well, the only reason is because I want to spend more, because I want to have an excuse to be able to spend, because I know it's about 200 or 220. That's about it. Plus, what we sell. So 16.5 million a season. And then after we pay it off, we just terminate his contract. I don't know, man.
Okay, another super chat from Gunner. 077 instead of 007. Zinni won't play in the midfield. His first phase player. I won't speculate on Havertz pre-season. We'll be telling on how our style will change. Interesting. Listen, the whole world want to know how Arteta is going to play next year. The whole world. I promise you.
He might change up. I think he might change up. I'm going to see. Look, I think if anyone's watching me talk about Arsenal, I've been just for this part, anyways. I'm trying not to be shameless, Cass. Right? Yeah. Big up for the super chat, by the way. I always thought that with Arsenal, currently with their window, they're the most, they're doing the most business quickly anyways before Chelsea gets doing their business, and you have to rate it. And the way it currently looks like, I think Arsenal are going to do more. Like, I don't think Partey leaving is going to be Lavia the direct replacement. I can't see it. I think they'll do more in the window. They still got a lot of sales to go for as well, to go through, to be honest, which is interesting. I think maybe it's a bit, maybe we're being a bit more, what's that word? Over dramatic, maybe a bit dramatic over it. Obviously, with hindsight, you don't trust your board to do what you want, every summer, right? But I think Arsenal are still doing a good way about it, and I want to see if I want to see. For me, I don't want to see it, but I'd wonder if Arteta's got a second option plan, because we all saw it's plan A and that's it. So what's your plan B when it doesn't go well? There's something that Pep does well so often, what Ten Hag has done as well over his management. They change the way they play, so you don't become predictable. That's why key word, if anyone remembers Roberto Martinez, when he had that Everton, the way he was slotting in his DMs to play fullback, one season after that, gets clocked on, man. It's a bit like Sheffield United. That overlapping centre-back, that got clocked on. You can't play the same way. Otherwise you know what I mean? You just see. I think Havertz is the plan B. I do think it's the plan B, because it's
for 65 million, my friend. For 65 million pounds.
For plan B, yeah. Well, yeah, you're gonna have that, because if he's gonna be the sole reason for your plan B,
can't make him
Havertz is actually good at moving into free space, and he does get onto end of the ball, but his option is his weaknesses is putting the ball away in the back of the net. It's a bit like Timo Werner, gets into these great positions, just can never score. So I think maybe
tell him 65 million for a plan B. It's your team.
It makes no sense whatsoever, because Arsenal Football Club would never pay 65 million for a player to sit on the bench, and that's why I'm worried. You got what I'm saying? Like, it worries me, because I have a bad feeling that in Kai Havertz, Mikel Arteta sees another Ben White. He's supposed to play centre back. Oh, look, I made him a right back. So apparently he's a number 9, but I'm going to make him I don't know. Is he going to try and make him an 8? And the links to Jurriën Timber is another thing that has me wondering. If that deal goes through, then that changes a lot for Arsenal. That is a centre back that can play ball. So, and he can play in a few different positions from this.
He isn't.
He isn't a centre back. No, he can play right. He's more of
is a back 3 right centre back.
Yeah,
and so I look.
Sorry, go on.
And he can also play in the sort of in the middle of the park. So I look at that and I think a signing like that makes me wonder about what this formation is going to be like.
Three in the back. It has to be three in the back.
I think it's more of a it could be a 4-2-3, 4-2. Because I think Ødegaard can play 8 way better than Havertz will be able to. You know, and there might be an option there. He might be able to use Ødegaard, Rice as a DM, and then he can use Havertz as an option in the 10, like the advanced 8, if you want to call it like that. Because Ødegaard is a tempo setter, and he's very good at that, and he can do that. Like David Silva, he can definitely do something along them lines. I think Ødegaard's wicked. And sometimes we always, if we criticize Ødegaard, sometimes it's his output. This season been very good with output, though. And that's not really
the role that he plays. It's the role that he plays. The number 10 role is the number 10 and number 8 are 2 roles that really get grinded down. The number 10, because if he doesn't get an assist, you know what I mean? What's he done all game? He can create 10 chances, and unfortunately, the guy up front doesn't finish them. He gets no credit for anything that he has created. It's up until the finished end product. And I have seen some of Ødegaard's passes go through wayward. You know, you think perfect opportunity for a better player. So that happens the same with even in the Man United camp.
Yeah.
Oh, don't even get me
I see a lot of comments, guys. The comments are flying. I apologize if I don't catch all your questions. I know there's a lot of questions asking about where is Rice gonna fit, where is Timber gonna fit. It's just tough for me to catch all the questions. That's why super chats, they get started for us. And I'm not asking for super chats. It's just they get started for us automatically, so we get to see them. They are going a different category. Tiang Yang here is saying Havertz remind me of Morata. Not good enough, but somehow top clubs always go in for them. Maybe, but Morata has moved quite a bit around the clubs and everything. But yes, kind of. We'll see. I still believe that Mikel Arteta can get something out of him, but not 65 million something. It's not. He can get up. There's a player there, because I've seen this player play for Bayer Leverkusen, as I said before. But when you have 3 years of like that bad, I know he scored the Champions League final goal, but that's it. That's not enough to warrant a move for 65 million pounds. That's a lot of freaking money.
Yeah, I don't understand that, because I think there's a member chat as well for Gigantesco. I don't know how to say it properly. He said he won. Edu is a clown. He won a competition to be a director of football.
I see some comments. I'm gonna try to get to the comments, guys. I see like this comment, for example. Do you think Verratti leaves PSG? He is under contract. He's very comfortable at Paris Saint-Germain. I think he has a contract with Louis Vuitton at Paris. So it's the image rights and shit like this. I don't think Verratti leaves PSG. Also, Verratti is 30 years old now, so I think he's too old for a big move at the moment. Guys, there's over 500 of you here, and we're not even on 200 likes. I hate to beg for likes, and I hate to keep asking for likes, but it helps us massively to push to the next person to watch with you guys. I know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you don't mind running the like, people, you know how it goes, man. If you haven't subscribed and you got an account, make sure you subscribe. And also in the description below is Aussie Gooner's account. Look at his wicked thumbnails. He's gonna be back on doing content through the summer, I'm pretty sure. So make sure you subscribe to Aussie Gooner. It's in the description. Just press more. You know, if you got your phone, if you're watching like this, just do that. And you can see the like button in the description where it says more.
Yes. So we move on from Arsenal. Let me finish. Last question for Aussie Gooner, since we have him here. How would you rate this window if you get Havertz, Rice, and Timber only?
You're kidding. Havertz, Rice, and Yuri and Timber, and that's it.
That's it. This is about
that's a 4 out of 10.
4.
That's 200 million.
I don't care if it's 200 million, but it's unfortunately I've got 1.5 players here.
But you're letting Partey go, you're letting Xhaka go. So you basically lost half your midfield.
That's a 4.
Exactly.
No, that's a 4. If I'm an Arsenal fan, this is why I say where Lee Gunner, where you can prop him up. Yeah, you can deem him negative, you can deem him however you want to.
But it's not. It's truth.
It's where do you want to see yourself as a club? Because as a Man United fan, yes, you can be realistic about your club. And the way I look at it is like, you just scored on 93% of you nearly there. You're the nearly there crew, right? Why would you go onto a window which makes you worse, right? Like that makes you worse because every team is strengthening potentially. that makes you worse. Do you want to go for the league and be that team again, the great Arsenal, the Thierry Henry era, the Robert Pires? You can go back even further with Tony Adams, go even further back with George Graham. What kind of team do you want to be? And if you don't, if that's going to be your window, that absolutely smells. It won't be your window. I doubt. I think you're going to get about 5-6 players. But that stinks, man. That stinks. I like Timber though. I think that's a great. I think that's a great addition. But that's Rice for me is a 3. Timber's a 1. Havertz is a nil. You know, get Lavia, that's an extra 2 for me, and get another DM to actual DM, that's another 2, and then get whatever you need to get after that, man. It's a better window than what we're doing with us. We got no one. We just sold someone, one of our most talented youngsters, for €1 million with an amazing buyback sell-on clause. Imagine, stinks.
Yeah, 100%. I know. Let's talk about Manchester City, or you want to talk about Chelsea again?
No, not Chelsea. We can move on to Manchester City because there's 2 guys in the thumbnail, which is crazy. Actually, links Arsenal because of Gundogan has apparently chosen Barcelona
You blame me?
to be his next destination. I've been saying it, but I'm not going to take credit. It's not like I had inside news. It just made the most sense. Gundogan's fantastic, and he's going to want to retire. Like, well, how old is he? About 32, 31, something like that, 33. Anyways, in his 30s. Clearly his wife and that wants to relax somewhere nice, and England is not that place, and that's why we always complain about England, because of the weather, the lifestyle over there. That's why no one can chip Frankie de Jong, because he loves the lifestyle. He loves his wife clearly, and that's the way it's gonna be. I wouldn't feel that. Do you feel that was someone that you could have got Osiguna?
Gundogan, there was a possibility, but my problem here was he's a great player, highly rated, and rightly so. I just looked at, if we had assigned Gundogan to build around him, what have you done? You get rid of Granit Xhaka because he's older, and I'm not saying Gundogan and Granit Xhaka same level, different level. But how long have I got Gundogan for? 2 more years? I can't build on that. Gundogan's the kind of player I get when I've already got a solid midfield and I want to add that spark, that zap, and I can allow to spend on him and give him the wages and bring him in when I need an impact player, because I can't rely on him to be part of my starting 11, because it'd be detrimental to the rest of the team. You've got a team that's building around youth, and you've got a player who's only got 2 years left in him, and you're playing around a player who's going to be gone very soon. So, yes, I could have seen Arsenal get Gundogan, but I was also worried that if we had picked him up as our 8, that it wouldn't have been. I wouldn't have been jumping out of my chair saying, "Yes, I got Gundogan." I wouldn't be.
Gundogan would have won you the league.
I think we got to do him a bit of a service though,
No. He's in a different squad with a different quality of player around him. And I'm not saying he's not a great player. I'm just saying he had great players around him. You have to understand that you've got a great manager and great players around him, a lot of depth. At Arsenal, not a lot of depth, some decent players around him with a fair manager. That puts a lot of pressure on Gundogan. So to get him, to expect him to perform at the level that he did at Manchester City, to do it at Arsenal, good luck.
Here is my counter to this. I think signing someone like Rice, Lavia, and you have Odegaard, you keep one of Partey or Xhaka. You add Gundogan, you have a very competent midfield that can go and challenge. I think, in my opinion, Gundogan was free. Cool. You can offer him a lot of money for a 3-year contract. That's not going to cost you a lot. Like how much? Like 10, 12 million a year? That's not a lot. For someone that you know is very reliable. Look at Khaldoon Al-Mubarak, who he was talking about him yesterday. I watched the video, and he's talking about Gundogan on and off the pitch. I feel like you need a Gundogan. It doesn't have to be a Gundogan, but you need a Gundogan, huh?
He's always smiling as well, man. I big up Slimake for that comment, by the way.
Leader on the pitch, off the pitch, always calm, always composed, never panics. Gundogan, fantastic player. And listen, he was Pep's first signing. There's a reason for that. Pep Guardiola has this thing about players. And I think you need a Gundogan. You don't have a Gundogan at your team. Your team panics. Arsenal, they panic. Declan Rice isn't the guy. He's still young. You need someone 30 plus years old.
I was going to say something though, Mo.
Go ahead.
You reminded me. So in the Athletic last week, we saw about Man City when it's going for Rice. This Rice, though, they're saying is the bids, they're getting rejected. Do you reckon this is going to be the next part? If Bernardo Silva's departure might be the key to why they go and get someone like Declan Rice now? Like, do you think that could be it? I don't know if Kovacic is the replacement. I think that's just depth regardless. We'll talk about it.
Replacement for Gundogan.
Do you reckon they go and battle out for Declan Rice?
Yes, with offering Calvin Phillips. Whatever you tell me, Calvin Phillips failed under Pep Guardiola. He did fail. He did fail for weight. He did fail for whatever reason. I think that Declan Rice, I think that Declan Rice can go in an exchange with Calvin Phillips. They can pay 70 million because I know that Calvin Phillips would work at West Ham. He would transform their team. He would definitely transform their team. I know that Man City fans say we want to give Calvin Phillips another chance, but I think Declan Rice will fit like a glove at Man City because he's so disciplined, though. And Guardiola loved disciplined players. I think if Arsenal don't close this deal quick enough, Man City can swoop it, boom, get him out, and then Arsenal will be looking at the mirror and say, what have we missed on? What have we done? And then Arsenal fans will turn again.
I think it's about. I think with West Ham, it's about the P. I think West Ham aren't going to be taking any sort of, hey, look, grab. We'll give you 70 million in A, B, or C. I think West Ham right now are looking for the pounds. They're looking for dollars and cents. I don't think they'll be accepting, in my opinion, if Man City go in, they're not going to be accepting, hey, look, here's an exchange player. They won't do it. I think they're looking for dollars and cents right now. So I think if Manchester City do come in, and if it was going to be a choice between Arsenal and Manchester City, Declan Rice has got a big choice to make, and it probably will be Manchester City. But I think Manchester City have to come in and pay. It won't be, hey, look, let's give you this player, that player.
But they need to replace Declan Rice. West Ham, and they won't get a player better than Calvin Phillips to replace
I don't think so either. I agree with that part.
With that price, he's valued now at 30 million pounds. They will never get a player that cheap with that quality.
Did they not say?
I think they're knocking on the door at the moment of Fulham right now, and they're looking through Fulham's midfield. So
who's there? Palhinha, 90 million. Come on, 90 million.
Impossible. I think Man United will continue to get linked with Rice all summer. It's not happening. Trust me, it's not happening. We can't afford the guy unless you want to give him McTominay and 60 million of Mount's money.
Yeah, good luck with that. Yeah, he's a McTominay. It's like, what the hell is that?
He plays like this kind of, he's a budget version of Rice, man. But
he's McTominay and Maguire and 60 million.
I think 70 million of what, no bonuses, 70 million plus Declan Rice. If you really want to go into a bidding war, for Calvin Phillips for Declan Rice, I think that's a good deal, man.
I think they win it, Gus. I think they win it.
And maybe there might be a couple bonuses promised in there. Look, Sam Lee said it from The Athletic as well. He works as the Man City correspondent for them, so he was saying that if Gundogan leaves, they'll be looking at Declan Rice. There's no reason why David Ornstein wouldn't have posted that last week as well. It's interesting. West Ham definitely want to bid him more. If you know their owners, they definitely want to bid him more.
Oh yeah, look, it's like an auction. They want to get more bang for their buck, and if Arsenal and Manchester City go at it, I can see Arsenal looking at the P just going too high and then saying, "Look, we're going to have to bow out." That's typical Arsenal. As soon as it gets too heavy, it's like, "No, let's move away. Let's go and grab another player. We're not going to step up for this." And of course, Manchester City come in and flex. It's all over. And that's just my opinion. Seriously.
Yeah, this makes me talk about Kovacic then, because we was having this debate a few weeks ago. Kovacic was never the replacement for Gundogan. Clearly, they're looking at Gundogan as a different. What do you reckon?
He's injury prone.
Yeah, he's very injury prone. But do you think Kovacic might be the replacement for Bernardo potentially, and Bernardo will fund this deal for them so they can keep FFP? No, not FFP. They can keep the, what do they call it again? Net spend. Net spend trophy, all that kind of stuff. Like they can keep it down to a minimal and still progress. Since they are the most valuable club. I can't really see it being a Bernardo Silva replacement, but maybe Pep Guardiola might be envisioning something different for next season. I know he's played with his system, right? But he might be thinking of it a different way now, because I'm looking at Declan Rice as he's a robust box to box, and he's disciplined. He will listen to instructions. Kovacic is a controller. Not saying Kovacic was going to start, but he's a controller, and it makes me wonder. City must be looking at some sort of winger potentially as well in this market. Other than Gavardio, which is a defender, because Laporte is going, there must be somebody else in there as well, completely different. And I don't know who. And that's why I said I wouldn't be surprised if City get linked to an absolute bad boy. That's just my take. Do you rate the Kovacic deal? 30 million, I think it was. Or 25.
For me, I think Kovacic plays two roles there, plays the Gundogan role and plays the John Stones role next to Rodri. I think Kovacic, that he played that at Real Madrid before when he won the Champions League with them. He's injury prone, big problem. But again, I'm gonna say again about the medical team and the fitness team at Man City. What a job these people are doing. They can get, and Khaldoon al-Mubarak talked about, if you're a Man City fan, Khaldoon al-Mubarak, I watched it, he said, thanks to the medical team that we went on a triple season to the last game of the season in the Champions League with everybody fit. This is your, as a medical team, this is your ultimate goal, playing every game possible and going to the last game of the season with everybody fit. I think absolutely they can make Kovacic a 30-plus game player. They can absolutely do it. Number one, they don't have that deep of a squad, but they rotate really well, especially for players the difference of Rodri, Diaz. They can do. Rodri is unshiftable, but Kovacic, yeah, you can shift Kovacic. You can play Stones. You can play Bernardo there. I think Kovacic is a fantastic signing for them because he's a ball carrier. They lack that. They don't have anybody to carry the ball. Because if you notice, Osiguna, the only guy that carries the ball is absolutely John Stones. Did you notice that? Pep Guardiola transformed this guy to someone who carries the ball. Kovacic will offer you the same, but he's more technical than John Stones. We know.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
We know that. So I think that's absolutely extra. This Man City team, listen, people, I did watch the whole interview yesterday. He said something. He said winning mentality is something that is spread through the club. And Khaldoon al-Mubarak said something that I wish everybody that talks about Arabs and people that love the football, managing your club or owning your club, he said, it's not about standing still and it's not about milking the asset. It's about moving forward every year. While other owners, the likes of the Cronkies, Glazers, FSG, it's about milking the asset.
Of course.
But these guys want to move forward. And Kovacic, I think he's absolutely a fantastic signing for them. I watched this guy. He was at Inter before he joined Real Madrid. He's a fantastic player. Forget Chelsea. Right off that Chelsea season, this guy was one of their best players.
He wasn't bad at Chelsea. He wasn't bad at Chelsea. No. See, that's the thing. Kovacic wasn't a bad player at Chelsea. The problem with Kovacic was injuries. N'Golo Kante, great player at Chelsea, started to get injured. But if he wasn't getting injured, he was a wonderful player. I think Kovacic and N'Golo Kante were both very good players at Chelsea Football Club. But the injuries got to them. If Manchester City can find a way to iron out these issues with Kovacic, you've got yourself a decent player. And what you said, depth, it's great depth. A player who can come in and do a job, Kovacic is. You've seen it at Chelsea Football Club. He has changed games for Chelsea Football Club. He has. He's a solid player all round. It was just the injury issue. There was nothing else that you could have asked from Kovacic at Chelsea. If he had stayed fit, he would not be leaving Chelsea Football Club now. But I think that's the reason why Chelsea Football Club have decided to move him on. And of course, we know that your backroom staff at Manchester City is second to none.
The best.
Look, your owners are a different breed. And the reason being is because they didn't buy your club to make dollars and cents. They bought your club to become successful. That was it. And then let's talk dollars and cents. Unfortunately, like you said, the Glazers, FSG, and the likes of them, Levy, have clubs to feed off. And of course, they give a little bit, but take a lot. And that's the difference. That is a massive difference when it comes to running a football club. And unfortunately, the likes of Arsenal and Man United have dropped off in the recent years because of this sort of
everybody's like, give me American owners. I don't want Arabs. Oh, screw you.
No.
Arabs love football. They would take the loss to win.
No, it's political. It's political. And I hate to say that. It's political. The thing is, people understand one thing. American owners come in here and treat your football club like a business. That's what they do. Plain and simple. I wanted American owners at Chelsea Football Club. I always wanted that. And I'm happy you guys have got them. Because Roman Abramovich...
Can you correct me? I'm sorry to cut you off. So maybe, Mo, this is a terrible, cronky take. Maybe, I don't know. By the way, I am going off what the fans are telling me. The fans are telling me that the Cronkies over the past years didn't invest enough in the club. This is what I've been told.
Well, the reason why they didn't is...
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, what happened was with the Cronkies, don't forget, they bought a significant amount of Arsenal Football Club. And of course, they wanted to take over. Now, when you're trying to take over a business, you don't want that business to be at the height, that you want to keep it down. So throughout the years, whilst they were, in limbo with the ownership, they didn't really invest any of their own money in order to keep Arsenal's overall growth.
I'm not wrong then. I'm not wrong.
No. And
it's
then
all
eventually,
about at the end, it's a business, and
it's a business that they wanted to purchase
The
on the
Arabs
low.
don't do it this way. The Arabs love football. They would take the loss to win games.
Well, unfortunately, what they've done is the Cronkies came in, hung out. They got their ownership. They made sure that when they took full control of Arsenal didn't grow over the years as they were partial owners. They picked it up on the cheap. And now that they've picked it up on the cheap, the 200 million or 220 million that they're allowing Mikel Arteta to spend is money that Arsenal can spend every single season from the money that they've been making without Champions League. Without it. And that's with money in the bank, without Champions League. So when people sit here and say, oh, the Cronkies are doing this and the Cronkies are doing that, no, the Cronkies are just saying, you guys can spend 220 million, even though we know you can spend 300, and it wouldn't come out of my pocket. So the Cronkies are doing bugger all at Arsenal.
So Ben, here's your answer from a gooner. It's not from Mo, who hates Arsenal based on your... So anyway,
it's the truth.
Man City, Bernardo Silva on the right side. It looks like Mahrez is staying, guys. Believe it or not, it looks like Riyad Mahrez is staying at Man City.
Quality player.
He has 2 years. What a player! I love Riyad Mahrez. You know, I'm Egyptian, yes, but I love Riyad Mahrez. Riyad Mahrez, someone who can change games off the bench, can take control of games. Huh?
Yeah, I think he will stay for 1 more year.
One more year. I love
Riyad's gone.
Yeah. He's a quality player. They need to keep him. You can't be letting him go. There's too many senior players, and there's obviously the Kyle Walker's future as well, and the Bernardo one at the moment. But yeah, man. Moving on to I suppose Manchester United, Mason Mount. See, I rate Mason Mount more than Kai Havertz, by the way. Way more. I think he offers more. He's more consistent, and you can't even talk about last year. Look at last year, this, that, and the other. You can't look at last year because they were both arse and cheeks, right? So the way I look at that is it's just like, but 55 million doesn't warrant this guy's, price tag. That apparently that we offered 45 plus 5. Man United are really trying to bargain with this one as well. And I don't even want to talk on.
Do they want 60 plus 5?
Yeah, they want 60 plus 5. They want 65. We're only offering 50 at the moment. So they're gonna have to meet somewhere down the middle.
And 50 plus 5.
55 million is a stretch for me, but I can accept it. Anything more than that, I can't move past it. But as long as we get another midfielder, and that's just
does this improve your midfield? Does this really improve your midfield?
It does.
We're improving Chelsea.
A little bit it does, but in one aspect, which is transition and stuff, because he's better than Eriksen in the latter stage of the pitch. Like I think in the final third, he's better than Eriksen lately. But again, if it's 45, it's a good signing for them. It's not bad. If it's more than that, I think it's too much. You're wasting too much money of your budget.
Plus add-ons, I'm taking it.
Yeah, 45 plus 5, not bad.
It's like I don't know what the bonuses would be towards Chelsea, but I'll guarantee it's realistic ones. Man United's got a lot to deal with. I don't know how much you rate him, Aussie Guna, but I'm pretty sure you rate him more than Havertz.
I do rate him more than Havertz, but I don't like James Maddison, but I rate James Maddison over him.
Yeah. Oh, well, you don't like James Maddison?
No, I don't. I just don't like him. Just don't like the look of him. I just don't like him like that. But as a player, he's wonderful. I wouldn't want him at Arsenal. I just hate the look of him. So it's just that, you probably need to. But I think James Maddison is a better signing for Manchester United than Mason Mount. I think Maddison's the kind of player who, with not much quality around him, was still getting the business done. And I think at Manchester United he would thrive. I just don't understand why you guys didn't move for him. I know he's older, but I think he's proven, and I think he's he's free kick killer. You want a goal out of him, you want an assist. He can move the ball very well. He knows how to pick up a foul, get a free kick. He's a bit dodgy, dark arts, and I think he would be cheaper than Mount.
You know what it is though? I look at an 8, and I just don't look at. I look at Mount as an 8. Don't get me wrong, but I look at him as a Bruno depth player, like kind of situation.
Okay.
And I just don't. And I just think like, who's controlling that midfield, man? That's the way I look at him. Like, who's control? And I think Mount's been subject to poor coaching as well over Chelsea. A bit like Rashford as well for many of his years. Poor coaching since LVG left. Martial, poor coaching. Then now he's got poor injury record. And then Mount has not had a manager other than Tuchel in a way, but he's in left wing. And I just feel like maybe Eric Ten Hag can get a tune out of him. I just don't know if that's a tune that can get you somewhere where you need to be for next season. I need to be realistic about next season as well. And it's like, until we can use Qatari money, if it is to be true, We ain't gonna get that this window anyways, right? So get some squad depth. I want to see some depth upon some first team signings. Don't get me wrong. And now I can write off the season a little bit. Go get me an FA Cup. Go get me my Champions League. Do well in the Champions League as well, and show some decorum in for Manchester United as a football club. And we'll go from there. We'll see you in January, and we'll see next summer, and then we can really go. You know, so that's all I can think about.
The Maddison move would mean you're changing your formation and having Casemiro hanging back on his own. Do you get what I'm saying? And then you'd have Bruno and Maddison sort of up front, not up front, but side by side.
Yeah.
It'd allow for a lot more attacking football. It'll really feed Rashford. Again, it might leave you a little bit bare in the back, but I still think with Casemiro there, Martinez there, you still got, you're still solid. It's just a change, but if you bring in Mount, your formation wouldn't really change. You could hold on to the same formation.
Yeah, no, I agree. Number 9 changes things as well. Look, we're gonna have to see how the system and what he has planned, because I know people want to do again revisionism on Eric Ten Hag's whole identity through Ajax, but he's always had a playmaker, and some sort of anchor, And I don't know if he looks at as Mason Mount as a playmaker. Maybe he can make him into one. Maybe.
So here is the deal about Mason Mount. Mason Mount's best attribute is moving between the lines, getting to the 18 in the right time.
And the half turn.
And he had this in Donny van de Beek. You remember Donny van de Beek used to always get inside the 18, being behind the forward. I think maybe that's what he sees in Mason Mount, someone who moves between the lines, not getting involved. Mason Mount isn't going to get involved in the build-up play. He's going to be the guy that plays up top a little bit behind the forward. Huh?
He's building up. Because this is what I mean.
Yeah, that's a big problem for you, because I think he tried Bruno.
But you see, Bruno.
But you remember what I said? He tried Bruno so many times next to Casemiro to build up.
Yeah, maybe. Because unless there's 9 days.
You get Onana, you play Bruno next to Casemiro. Hear me out. You get Onana. You play Bruno next to Casemiro. Now you don't need Bruno to go so deep to get the ball.
That's the whole point.
Because Onana's building from the back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If we get Onana, and I'm just saying, I'm counting down the days till De Gea is actually officially released, which I can't wait for. If Onana is to come and you get I don't know, a proper striker that can hold up the ball at least, the very minimum, Mason Mount plus whatever's around, I can kind of accept that a little bit because I've got no choice. But no, we still need 8s, because if we look into we should be selling someone in that midfield. 2 minimum.
But if you sell 2, you need to get 3.
If
you sell 2, you need to get 3.
The goalkeeper, he's got better passing. He's got better passing than Declan Rice. He can make passes Declan Rice can't even make. So I can see it build up, but that's build up from the back. I want to see some build up going forward as well, man. Like I need to see something. I don't need to see chaos. Yeah. That's the way I look at it, man. And there's nothing really else with Man United other than Fred, Fulham pulling out. They think over 20 million is too much. Disasi as well. 31 million buy, which is good depth, because we need, if Maguire's to leave, and then this whole Maguire's got a whole court date in Greece. If he's going to show up or not, I don't think he will. But
bloody hell.
Yeah, let me do this. Ghana down under. Rice would not choose City over Arsenal. I don't get it. But he would become Phillips 2 behind Rodri. No. Whereas Arsenal, he would come to be the main man. Kovacic is more of a replacement for Gundogan. Also, Havertz is a 10, nowhere near 8. So I agree on some of this. Thank you so much for the super chat. It's a great super chat. It has so many aspects. Let me address each part of it with the guys here. Rice would not choose City over Arsenal. I disagree with you. Rice is I take Rice as kind of guy who backs himself really good. Like, I think he would back himself to go to City and nail down a starting position, maybe for John Stones next to Rodri. Why not, if that's the way they want to play? Because remember, Declan Rice played as a centre back before, so he can do John Stones role, and John Stones can move to the back 3, make it even stronger in the back, right? He would become Phillips number 2. I disagree with that. Whereas at Arsenal, he would become the main man. Yes, I agree. But people forget that Odegaard and Saka are the main people at Arsenal. And you will not be able to shift them. I'm not sure, Osigona, do you agree that Odegaard and Saka will always be the main people because they score goals? They are the flair players.
I think what he means by he'll be the main man is that he'll be actually bossing more of the midfield. Odegaard hasn't got that attitude to boss a team around, you know what I mean, to push. I think the energy that you get from Declan Rice is he commands it. You know what I mean? He's commanding from the back of the midfield. So I think when he's saying that he'd be the main man, I don't think he means the main man as in like star boy, but he'd be the main man. He'd be the guy that would be constantly, when the heads are down, get up, move forward, you know, dragging players up. I do believe, look, Declan Rice right now, he's looking at Arsenal, and he's probably looking at Arsenal what is his best solution. It is London. It isn't that far of a move. Apparently there's been talks, blah, 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 blah. Arsenal are further forward in the discussion with Declan Rice. Are Manchester City an option? Yes. Manchester City will always be an option. And it's not because, it's this and that. Manchester City will always be an option for any player. You know what I mean? Let's just be honest about it. They would look at Manchester City and say, look, Premier League champion, they won the Premier League, they won the Champions League, they've done it all. Can I slot in there? Can I be my best? Can I be the best player of my ability at Manchester City and hold down a position? You know what I mean? If they want me. And a lot of players would think about that. Anybody in the chat would think about that if it's about a career move. Unless you're a fan of Arsenal, then it would be your dream team and you'd say stuff Manchester City. But at the same time, it just depends on how quick Arsenal move. Because if Manchester City are already making moves behind closed doors for their other targets, Arsenal might be able to wrap this deal up and get it over and done with. But that's just my opinion on it. And I do believe that Declan Rice can be a primary figure at Arsenal, but not as in a star boy. And Kai Havertz as a 10, yeah, that'd be great. But I don't see, he'd have to come off the bench.
And then we spoke about Kovacic and his replacement for Gundogan.
Yeah.
And Havertz is a 10, nowhere near 8. Someone just sent me a tweet saying that Havertz, saying that he's a midfielder, but that's it.
Cool.
So guys,
story.
Yes. So that's it. We are back today with a fantastic show at 10 o'clock UK time with one of the best personalities out there on YouTube. We're going to have a debate again like last night. So make sure to tune in tonight at 10. Turn on that notification button for us. And if you haven't hit that like button, get us at least to 250 likes, guys. The like button look like this. It's underneath your live chat. And we'll talk tonight about something else. We'll debate something. You'll enjoy it. You'll love it. Thanks, Ossi Gunnar, for joining us. His channel is in the description. Follow him. Give him a like. Give him a subscription if you haven't. Appreciate you. Appreciate you coming with us. Thank you so much for joining us, my man. And thanks for everybody that is watching us. We appreciate you here. And from all of us at Never a Foul, we love you. We appreciate your support. And we're out of here. Thank you so much.
Big up the chat.